Welcome back, guys. I'm KP.
And I'm GenoJ.
The real estate
Do rules.
So today we're going to talk about the types of closings and some of the processes that lead up to these closings from contract to close. And I'm going to start off with assignments. Since most wholesalers out there are using assignment agreements, and for those that want to get into wholesale, an assignment agreement is simply just an agreement that you assign your contract that you have from A to B, which is the original seller of the property. It's A to B. We're just going to use A to B, B to C, those type of terms during this video, so keep up. A to B is the original contract. So an assignment will come in at the B side of it. And that assignment agreement would allow you to sell the original A to B contract to whatever party is the end buyer. So simply put, the assignment agreement is just a letter stating you have the right to sell the original A to B contract for a small fee. And that's simply what an assignment is. I'll let Geno tell you about the other types of closings, and he's just going to break them down for you.
Yeah, we just a little bit about us. I mean, obviously we're both agents. In terms of wholesale deals, I've probably done over maybe 300 wholesale deals in the last 10 years. And wholesaling is a great way to make money. And there are multiple ways that you can close these deals. Like Kelly mentioned, you can definitely do the assignments, which is very popular. A lot of people do assignments. Another way you can close the deal is through a double closing. And the way you do a double closing is you have two contracts. So you have an A to B. So let's just say Kelly's the seller and I'm the buyer. This is going to be an A to B contract. And then I can turn around and find another buyer, an end buyer, and I'll be a B to C contract to my buyer. And the way the double closings work is you want to try to use the same attorney to do the A to B. That's probably going to be key. And you definitely want to try to find an attorney that's familiar with doing A to B contracts, because there is certain language you need to put in that contract if you want to use your end buyer's funds. So if I have a C buyer on the end and my buyer's paying cash, the B to C contract would close first, and then the proceeds from the B to C will filter down to the A to B. So it's really me using the C buyer to close with my A buyer. And that's the A to B, B to C contract. It can kind of get complicated at times if the C buyer is using a hard money lender, because some lenders have in their note that you can't, they don't allow the double closing format. Some lenders will still do it, but they want you to pay a fee. They may say, well, we'll do it, but you got to pay a 1% fee. But there are lenders out there who specialize just in doing double closing transactions. But these lenders will only fund the transaction after the A to B. So say if I don't personally have the money, I can go out there and find a lender that will fund my deal just for one day, but they won't fund the deal until they verify with the closing attorney that the C buyer is already in escrow. So once they know the C buyer is in escrow, then my lender will send my money, and my lender would fund my deal, and obviously the buyer that's buying it would fund the B to C transaction. So I do want to get into some of the ugly side of what happens with some of these wholesale deals. We've had a lot of crazy stories from buyers not showing up at closing and just a bunch of crazy things, man. What's one of the crazy things that you can think about, or just some horror stories with some of these wholesale deals when we used to wholesale a lot?
All right, I'm going to jump back and reiterate what Gene's saying. A to B, B to C, double closing. A to B assignment is totally different. So a funny situation is, I'm not going to use any names, but I know a wholesaler that had got an A to B contract with the seller. Told the seller that they were going to assign the contract, but didn't tell the seller how much they were going to assign the contract for. So when that amount displayed on the HUD at closing, the seller reneged on the whole deal and decided to just walk and not sell their property because the wholesaler took it upon themselves to mark up this house about $30,000 as an assignment fee. And that was a bit greedy, and it cost him a lot of money and cost the deal. So if he would have just did what some wholesalers do, they stay around a certain amount of money and it's universal regardless of the property. They wanted to make a home run when it should have just been a single or a double. So
yeah, that the other thing in that situation, like if I have a really good deal and I stand to make a lot of money on it, the best way to do is a double closing. Because when you do the double closing, then obviously you're actually buying the property. So the seller only sees what you guys agree to, and then your end buyer only sees what you guys agree to. So double closing. The benefits of the double closing is that you don't disclose what you're making. It's just on the contract. The downside is you do have you actually buying the property, so you are subject to capital gains tax because you are actually buying the property. The other thing to the double closing, you're gonna have 2 attorney fees. It's not much, but if you're making a large profit, it's better to pay an extra $800-900 in attorney fees versus like what happened in your situation. You actually lose the deal. The good thing about the assignments, like he said, is that you just get a flat fee on the HUD, which is cool. You don't have to worry about closing the property. You're just assigning your rights to the end buyer, which is good. But that's a good tip. I just want to get back to what you said. Like a lot of wholesalers, they don't disclose what they're doing. Like they just, I'm the buyer, I'm buying the property, yada yada yada, and the seller has no idea. They think that they're actually buying the property when they're actually trying to wholesale it. So a good tip is just disclose and be honest. I mean, there's a certain way you can say it. I mean, you don't have to say, yeah, I'm a wholesaler. You'll say I'm an investor, but I'm going to be shopping the property around to see can I, sell it and make some money right now on it versus me taking it down. Because I do that a lot. I mean, we do that a lot. It's like, okay, it's a property. I may buy it. I may not buy it. I have the rights to buy it, but if I can make $5-6 grand now, I may do it, or I may end up buying it. But you just have to be able to explain to sellers what you're actually doing so that everybody, understands what's going on and they don't feel some certain type of way if you're assigning it and they get to the closing and then it's like, wait, hold up. And nah, you making too much bread on this one. Let's rethink this.
They'd be like, so you mean to tell me I can sell my property for $30,000 more and someone would still buy it? The wheels start spinning, and now you don't talk yourself out of a deal.
Yep. And I guess we've had a lot of horror stories. I've been in situations where when I was wholesaling properties where we had buyers and the buyers just disappeared like a day or two before closing. You imagine you thinking about to close on a property and the seller's all excited and and then your end buyer disappear. Luckily, I was in a situation where I could still buy the property and got extended closing to get my loan in place to do it. But it happens, like these buyers will disappear because they may be doing a hard money loan and an appraisal come in low, and maybe they only put down $1,002, and they'll walk away from that money in a heartbeat. So that was a crazy story. Just having buyers walk at the table and not even show up, or you at the table and you thinking they're gonna come, they don't come. You gotta chase them down and they don't answer their phone. But
these are the type of things that most investors or wholesalers or people that want to fill you guys in don't tell you. So that's what Gene and I tend to do on a regular, is just fill you guys in with more information to make you a better person, whether it's going to be an investor or wholesaler, agent, whatever. We just want to share our knowledge with you guys, and those are some of today's tips about wholesaling when it comes to contract to close, with the assignment, double closings, etc. And we just wanted to fill you guys in with that, and we hope you take this knowledge. But before you take the knowledge, we definitely want you to subscribe below, click the link, make sure you like this video. Please comment on it with any suggestions or questions. We will definitely try to reply to you guys, all of you guys. So with that being said, I'm KP.
And I'm GenoJ.
The Real Estate
Gurus.
And we thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
All right, guys.